Yes, sir. Another episode of the Barz Zone live stream. And I got to introduce who I have on the phone with us right now. This is the man behind your boy I King sitting here right now. If it wasn't for this man, there'll be no I King. Let us keep that straight and foremost, cut dry. There'll be no I King without this man. This man right here, he been doing this for years. And he is a professional. When I say professional, when I say this man is a lyricist to a lyricist, he is a lyricist to a lyricist. This man been rocking videos. He been rocking stages overseas. He done he he done actually been overseas. That's crazy. Overseas. I'm talking about performing over crowds, massive crowds, stadiums. This man right here done actually did the whole LL Cool J line from Hollis to Hollywood, so to speak. But is he good? He done been in numerous videos, and he is the man behind a lot of the artists that's out here, just whipping and running around. We're talking about the one, the only, the Queen, Northside legend, C Rock the Fury. C Rock the Fury.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. But make no mistake, I King is his own man too, man. So shout out to I King, man. He's in the game along with all of us too, man. And he came up with all of us. So if you hear anything about any history about me and stuff like that, best believe he's in the mix somewhere.
Man, I got C Rock the Fury here, y'all. Now, and I'm like I said, C Rock the Fury put me on. Like, he's the one that actually took me out and had me ripping and running with him. I was, you know what, Fury? It's funny because when you hear people talk about their beginnings, a lot of them talk about going on tour, being the roadie, so to speak. And a lot of times when I listen to those stories, I say I can't relate to that. Like, I'm like going on tour, carrying bags. But then when I really think about it, I was the roadie for you. Like, I was your roadie. I was the one tagging along, all the showcases, taking the pictures. And then when you didn't want to do the freestyle, yo, can't go freestyle. And I go up there freestyle. So you actually introduced me to this life.
Well, you know what it was, man. It's like there's always a beginning, and then there's the beginning of the beginning. And when we came up, of course, that was the beginning of the beginning. We was all kind of going through it and stuff like that. And so my outlet was, like when I had it, I said, man, I was gonna put my peoples on, and everybody around the way that was into what we was doing. Those are the cats that I wanted to see shine. From Linden, cats from from House or from whatever. They have to experience it. Me doing it alone, I could have done it, but it ain't nothing like putting your peoples on so they could be at the same level, if not further, and do it. So that way they can pass the torch down and keep it moving. And this was before, things even got big for like even for some known artists out there. The known artists that's out there now, they wasn't even around when we was doing our stuff. We was winging it. That's how you talk about a freestyle. We was freestyling our life right there, experimenting, just getting our name out there. And the only way you could do it back then was from word of mouth, from being seen and being heard. That was the only way that we could get ourselves known. And we have to put it out there. So whenever I had a chance to, and you was around, and you was doing your thing too, but to have you around to see all of that stuff, I think helped you to become your own man, become your own person, so you can see what I saw.
And you know what? And that's crazy because I do look at a lot of things in hindsight, and I'm like, oh damn, like I really, a lot of times, a lot of artists they have that beginning, like they have their God, so to speak, the person who you would say is their beginning, like this the person. And I look back and I'm like, oh wow, like C-Rock the fucking Fury. Like, if it wasn't for Fury, and sometimes it just blows my mind when I think about it because through me going up through all the ranks and everything, I'm like, oh wow, like I got to be in some form of a debt or like it's gratitude. Like yo, if it wasn't for this dude, C Rock the Fury, there really would not be because no one was taking time to really listen to I King. You know what I mean? And you brought me to the masses. I probably would have just stayed the MC on the block or the MC around the way. But you actually brought me to the masses, and you did that for a lot of artists. Now, is that something? Well, me personally, I know you personally. I know that's what you do automatically because you love love. You spread love. But was that something that you always said? This is what I'm gonna do when I get to a certain point. I'm gonna make sure I each one teach one myself and bring someone on the past, try to like, at least lead the horse to water, so to speak.
Absolutely, and you have to do that, man. It's like if somebody, say for example, somebody had a formula. You can die with that formula, or you can pass it on to whoever you carry that formula and make the formula better, or to enhance it, or spread it out. I couldn't just be with me. Some cats out there are selfish enough to do that, and they got the do me attitude, and that's it. Freak all y'all. But we was all in it for the love. We love hip hop that much. We was out there, making ourselves known. And what better way than to go as a group or a crew? That's why we had Linden. That's why we had Linden Crew. That's why we had Family Crew. We was a crew. If we wasn't fighting, we wasn't slap boxing, or doing something like that. We kind of did it together. We broke bread together. We played baseball together. We drank beer together. We played skelly together. Everything we did together. And so hip hop was just another extension of that. So like I was fortunate enough to be around the right people, or at least make my name known enough to be involved with certain individuals. So I'm like, sure, why not bring my peeps on? Why not put not only myself, but the neighborhood and the people from the neighborhood on the map? And that's what it was about.
And it's crazy because you actually had the name in the hood. Whereas if you talk about any MC between Farmers Boulevard and Linden and going all the way up to Cambria, even for only on the Merrick, everyone knew C Rock the Fury. And as a matter of fact, I remember because I was the young guard at the time, but I remember you and Shakespeare. That's why I really got gravitated toward the whole C Rock the Fury because you was rocking with Shakespeare at one point, right?
Wow, still are. There was three leaders of Squad Supreme. I just happened to be one of them. And Shakespeare was the leader, and he had the Shakespeare in the last Empire. That was Shakespeare's outlet. But even before the last Empire, Shakespeare was doing his thing when he was MC Rub. Because this is Rub. My name is MC Rub. I wrote Competitors Out. That's the acronym of his name. And so that's what he came out at. And then we had Thunder God, which is Dexter, that lived over there on 202nd off Linden. And myself, at that time I had the Fury Force. It was Fury
Force. Wow, the Fury Force.
We're in the block Vision beat mechanism. There was the beatboxer and so forth. And then us, what we did, we would just step into people. We would go to different schools and battle people. Like I didn't even go to Jackson, but everybody thought I went to Jackson because I was around Jackson so much.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing with your battling too. Because I remember I remember my cousin, big ups No Ram, but the whole banana movement. Because I remember when I was coming up, I battled Eric, right? Big up to Sire. I battled E. I'm like, yo. And he looked at me like, this little motherfucker gonna try to battle me right there in the basement, 225. Battled him. Of course, got my ass washed, but I battled him. But he was like, okay, this cat kept fighting. But then I was like, yo, I'm gonna battle C Rock the Fury. And because I was nice when I was in Jackson. And then I never forget, my cousin was like, you want to battle Fury? He said, okay. He said, I don't think you got, he said, I don't think your rap book is long enough to even battle battle C-Rock. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit. Like you always had that legend as far as the battler. Like you always been that that battle dude, man. And that led to a lot of the mystique with C-Rock the Fury. Like you really bought the Fury. Now, is that really the reason why you flipped that whole Fury into the name and everything, C-Rock the Fury? Because your legend is just long.
Well, here's the thing. I told the story a few times before. I don't know if you know it, but I mean, this actually, my name actually happened early, probably before my teenage years. You know, because before I was always C-Rock. I mean, I was always C-Rock. But even before then, all my names had like a C in it. Like I was C-Ski.
I remember I was D-Ski. I remember I was D-Ski because I was a Fat Boy fan.
I was Super C. My government name got a C. And then it starts with a C. And my sister, and then I had C-Rock, and my sister always used to call me C-Rock. So that kind of stuck with me, the C-Rock thing. So I always ran with that. Now, one day, I'm sitting in the house on the stairs, because like my room was the basement at the time. So sometimes I just sit on the stairs and start writing. So I had this yellow piece of paper, and believe it or not, I think to this very day, I got that piece of paper. And I was just like, there's a thing called doodling, where you just gotta have a pen in your hand, you just start just doing stuff, drawing stuff. You don't know what you're doing, but you're just doing it.
Yeah.
It's called doodling. So I'm doodling, and then I'm looking at it. Don't get confused with the number 2 on the drawing, y'all. I'm doodling with the paper, right? So I was drawing it, then I looked at it, and it looked like a dragon. It looked like I drew a dragon in the form of the letter F. Right, and I said, "Oh snap!" I said, and then the first thing I thought about when I think about dragon and stuff like that, I thought about Bruce Lee. So I thought about Into the Dragon. I thought about dragon, and then after that, then I thought about Fist of Fury. Right, and then I was like, I said, Fury sounds dope. I said, that'll be a dope name. Right? And then I was had things in my head like MC Fury and all that stuff like that. But then I was like, I didn't want to give up my name, C-Rock. So I was like, well, how can I incorporate the name? And then I was just sitting down evaluating it, and I said, well, this the Fury is kind of like how my style was. So it'd be like somebody coming up to me, making a statement like, "Yo, C, rock the Fury." So that's kind of like when it came out, in my head. It was like a statement like, "Yo, C, I want you to rock that Fury. Yo, C, rock the Fury." And I was like, "Oh shoot." And in my head, all this stuff was just formulating. And I said, that's going to be my freaking name. And back then, artists didn't have those double names. Like, you got J. Rue the Damager, and you had all these extensions or that.
Yeah.
They didn't really have that. So I can say that I was probably the only ones that had like a double name, like a C-Rock. Now I'm calling myself the Fury. That's a freaking C-Rock the Fury. And I just kind of kept it like that. And that's kind of like how that developed. And, it happened like it's something I paper. And I think I still got it somewhere in one of my rhyme books to this very day. That same piece of paper.
Wow. It got that with the doodle. Now you don't got no lyrics on it, do you?
No, I didn't have no lyrics on it. I was just scribbling on that particular piece of paper. But I was writing at the time, and and I still got some of them raps. Like I said, I got rhymes that I wrote. Let me see. We up in age now, so you can imagine from that going all the way back into the early 80s. So, you got over 40 years worth of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I haven't even used yet that I could, easily use. And probably, in the future, I will be using some stuff, just like in the archives. And why not? I don't care if it's old. Like Shakespeare said, my old jam still slam.
I remember that song, My Old Jam Still Slam. And that was like one of my that was like one of my favorite songs back in the day. Like I used to really like that song, My Old Jam Still Slam. I remember that song was in on vinyl. I remember the vinyl was in a white jacket.
Yep. And the artwork was actually done by Thunder God. Devin the Microphone was the one that drew the artwork on that. And we was kind of like Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang, because like we all had our different styles, and I think that's what kind of made us. And when I think one time, Shakespeare was going to battle Mikey D at the time. That's when Mikey D was making his name known, and he was known. I think that may or may not have been a battle, doing that, but maybe Shakespeare would be able to clarify that for you. But
Okay.
there was cats back in the day that we was going at, it's just crazy. We got stories within stories because there's a lot of history. Like I went to school with C Style, over there he called Corey Drums down, but we went to Cardoza together, and then we remember battling this dude in front of Jackson after like a talent show, and I think one of the dudes I battled, if I'm not mistaken, because the style sounded exactly like that dude from Busta Rhymes group.
Who you talking about?
Squad.
Charlie Brown. He's a flip mode or Little of the New School?
Lord have mercy that I battled.
Lord have mercy.
Sure,
at Jackson?
Because he had that, that superhero flow like that.
Yeah.
He had that. He had that. I was thinking back, I said, yo, I'm almost certain that was Lord have mercy.
It couldn't have been, man.
We battled. I remember we battled right beside of Jackson on the side. Not too far from the auditorium next, and you go to the side over there. And sure, man. And I remember having a battle with Total Control and everything. That's when everybody thought it was a street riot. I mean, that's when we had the whole Francis Lewis and all that stuff blocked off because everybody I think for the school was up there. And I know you know Shadow.
Oh yeah.
That's a Shadow. Shadow was like he was the prince of our era. He was like pretty boy prince looking, dressed like Batman and all these dogs. While we battled, and he is standing on top of the fence with his cape, flapping his cape like I'm Batman. And then God was coming around, thought there was like a riot. And he's like, nah, these dudes they spit. We had I don't think we were spit back then. But they're battling, they're robbing each other. Because the streets was blocked off, cars couldn't even get by. Everybody was just gathering around. We were just all going in. Like I went in, if I'm not mistaken, I think KC the Lyricist was there, because Shakespeare was there, and there was other cats that was like around rooting with Squad Supreme. A lot of them were the squad members, but a lot of them either wanted to be or they was down by affiliation. And it was just an incredible time, man. It was a lot of energy there. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of that stuff is documented like on cassette and stuff. So the word of mouth kind of makes us like almost like folklore story. Like somebody sitting on the campfire, like, yo, you ever heard of Moby Dick? Yeah. That's kind of like our Squad Supreme was. You would get these kind of fishtails about us. And yo, I seen that battle. Y'all heard about that battle on Farmers? Y'all heard about that in Linden? Yo, you see about that battle on Hollis or Jamaica Avenue? It's all they got these little stories and stuff. It's kind of like you said, has nothing to speak of Squad, because we never really had anything televised. The revolution was not televised at that time. We just went at it live in mid-range. We just went at it.
That's crazy.
I wish we did have recorded, but that's an incredible time, man.
That's crazy. Now, how many people did you battle at that time though? Because you was always known as the dude that would walk up and just start battling. But like now, I call myself a stage rat, so to speak. Where I just love the culture, I love the game, so I always got a 16 on deck. And I think I really got that from you, because when I remember our first show that we went out that you took me to, it was a Wonder Twins show. And yeah, and that's when
Sonic and Vader.
Yep, and that's when I met Sonic, Vader. I met Capital G that night, and to this day, me and Capital G still talk.
Productions, that's right. Shout out to Capital G, my dog.
And it's ill because I remember there was freestyling outside, and I was I thought I was nice, but I don't think I was really ready for that platform at the time. But when I went there with you like threw me in the fire, like, yo, go up there and spit. And I'm like, what? like I looked at you like how, like, who was that who looked at Kanye when Kanye said Bush don't like blacks? That's how I looked at you, like, what? Like, word? And I'm like, damn, okay. And I went out there and I slaughtered it. I slaughtered that cipher. I slaughtered it. And then that was like the beginning of my craft work. Like, yo, I'm taking this to a whole nother level with it, and that's totally due to you. But how many times have you like your battle? I can just imagine how many people you battle, but like who give you who was the one that gave C Rock the Fury the most competition? Like who was that MC that was like, yo, when you had to go up against him, you was like, wow, I better make sure I come with my A game.
Shit, I don't even know, man. But you know, like me and Shakespeare used to spar a lot. You know, but you know, it was kind of weird because you know Shakespeare is he's more of a storyteller rapper. You know what I mean? Like at the time, like he was the dude when you want to hear a story like how he had Slick Rick's children's story. He was the one to go to on that. So he could put a vivid picture in your mind with that, right?
Uh-huh.
And then Thunder God, he was kind of like what Ultramagnetic would be. He was like a kooky for a said G. He talked scientific stuff, like put stuff in the beaker and mix it up. He'll do scientific stuff like that. And me, I was always more verbal with wordplay and bars and the way that I arrange words. So I guess that back then, like when it came to punchlines and metaphors, I was that dude that come with certain lines, and that I think that's kind of like what made Squad Supreme a dope crew, because we had a style for you, and if I didn't have a style, Shakespeare had a style for you. And so we always had a little something for everybody. I can't remember exactly offhand. I met a lot of people. Like I met on TNT. They call Boom. It was an MC Ace and a Q. I'm thinking Prince and what's the name? There was so many cats in there. Total Control. Total Control. We battled and stuff like that. But we pretty much held our own because we were just good at our freaking craft. So I don't know if I could say that. I had somebody that I never had somebody that I said like, shoot, I don't know, if I could take him or something like that. I just kind of at the time I leaked before I looked. I just said freaking because I was in that that Conan mode, that Thunder the Barbarian mode. I just jumped right in with my sword.
Man,
Thunder went at me. Everybody else was like, Ookla.
You going all out. Now,
go to war and do our stuff. And that was the fun thing about it, man. It was like, we can be scared later. We just jump right in. And once you jump in the water, man, we was in an element. So we was like Mikey D. When Mikey D battles cats, man, Mikey D is just in that element. That was just what he was. He was built for it. I mean, these days here they got the rap battles and stuff now. It's just different than how we did it. And I don't really do that for them anymore. But it's cool to see that people are still carrying on the tradition. But it's just different these days.
That's what I was gonna, and that's what I was gonna bring up, because like you are the first person who I known to be the battle rapper, the battle cat. You was the one that had the loose leaf. You had the loose leaf for rap book, whereas we had composition books and spiral books. As a matter of fact, we take an artist like Cannabis. A lot of the artists at that time was making fun of Cannabis because he wrote his rhymes on a computer. He walked around for a little mini laptop and wrote his rhymes on a computer. And when they broke that down, it's always like, that's some C Rock the Fury shit, because that's the lyricist in him. And you had the binder, not the spiral book, not the composition. You had the shit where you put photos in a binder. You know what I'm saying? For your and
I had the ones like that you see in the doctor's office with the big rings.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The big rings that like if you get your finger caught in it, it'll cut to put a hole in your hand.
Yeah.
Snaps that action. I still use those stuff from time to time because I got a lot of stuff I've been writing. If you see my book, I still got one of those books. To this day, it's actually got it in storage. I still still got my books.
See now, see,
I've done the computer stuff too.
See, but saying that's the thing, and that's the thing. So, from your era of battling to what I see now with the battling, to me is not battle rap. That's to me, I look at it just a bunch of niggas just fuming in each other's face. Like to me, it's not really battling. I look at it whereas they took a piece of that art form away from it. Something is missing out of it. Whereas it's not like you're going with lyrics. It's like it's like punchlines and like you're playing the dozens more than you just sitting there and really flipping bars or flipping lyrics compared to when you was doing it. So do you see it that way as well?
Well, when we battled, like we had it structured in a poetic format. Now, you know what I mean? Like it'll be less like us rhyming in the studio and we just take the beat out. When you drop the beat, you still got that flow, like the beat, like the beat is still on. So like when we watching y'all, and I see you rhyming, in your head, we can kind of picture like what the beat would sound like because we see, we're vibing to the actual lyrics, but you have a rhythmic format. These days here, a lot of rappers now, like when they battle, they use the crowd as props and they can do pauses, they can walk around, they can breathe and let the rhyme breathe for like 5 seconds and then go back into it. It's a lot of space in it. It's just a lot of, they can do a lot. It's creative. But if they tried to do that back in the days, cats would probably be like, you forgot the lyrics or you choked or, it could be like, it could be, they'll probably say, what was with the long pause, man? What happened?
Yeah.
But, these days here, it's a little bit more free, freer format to do of a structure of rhymes.
It's more like,
for example, I feel like
to me, it's more like spoken word.
Check it out, like I got bars for days, and then you could be like looking at the sky, like and counting the days. See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. You just got slayed. You know what I mean? Like you pause it and you delay it and you stretch it out. That's how they do it these days. I think you could kind of like, you can remix it, in a sense, and use the crowd as props. Whereas what we have to do, we have to really keep it going. And after I did my rhyme, then you came right in right after me. It was like almost like a cipher. So that's how it was.
Yeah.
And you have to have bars. You have to have the bars with you. And if you didn't, then that's when the freestyle techniques came in. That's when we have to, you have to go off the top of the head and rock and stuff like that. And if you didn't, then that's when it's good to maybe have somebody with you. So like if you feel that you was falling off, you can pass it back to your partner, and it would sound like you meant to do it to begin with.
Yeah. Because today's battle rap, I look at it. To me, it seems like it's more spoken word than actual like rapping, like really battle rap. Because you gotta keep in mind, battle rap, the word rap is in it. And these dudes to me aren't rapping. They're just battling with just punchlines. Right. But that's either or. Now we're gonna fast forward because we got into like the whole everything with Squad Supreme, but then you also managed to branch off and go overseas and you copped a deal with Turmeric Records. Now, was Turmeric Records your first deal or was you signed before then?
No, what happened was I have a brother. I got another brother. His name is Collie, and I haven't seen him in many years. Nobody really knew who he was and stuff like that. And I wind up, getting back in touch with him and stuff like that. And when he was over here, he was living in the Bronx. So I stayed with him off and on for a year, like in the Bronx. And then he was telling me that he was overseas and he was doing some stuff over there. So I decided to make a move to try to go overseas and see what that was. And I've always been wanting to go overseas. And I said, well, forget if I go over there, maybe I can make some moves over there or something like that. So, when I went over, I happened to go over not just myself. I went over with this lady named Candia, and it was actually a group that I was producing called the Arsonist Clan. So two of the two from the group, from the Arsonist clan, went over, which just happens to be, I think, probably the Kendia's nephews. So one was named Jack B. Quick, and one name was called Achille, also called Achilles. So they was representing with the Arsonist clan, and then she was the singer, and I was the, and I
wait, time out. There was a rapper called Jack B. Quick.
Yeah, it was a rapper named Jack B. Quick
Wow.
from Jersey.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's from New Jersey. I don't know what they're doing these days because I haven't been in touch with them. But we went over there, and we were just trying to make something out. I was like, when we go over there, and I said, let's go over there to try to network and make some things happen. And it's funny. So as soon as we got off the plane, when we finally made it to Sweden, the first person we ran into was Maxwell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the singer Maxwell. So when we see Maxwell, oh snap! It's Maxwell. Maxwell came, ran up to us, and gave all of us hugs. So, yo, what's going on, man? He said, yo, it's good to see some brothers up in here. And he was kind of joking around, but like we was leaving the airport, he was going in. I think he was about to fly back out. And we was asking him, I was like, yo, man, let's come build, man. He's like, yo, I got to break out. So that was like the first time us running into Maxwell. But that was like a little funny short story in itself. But once we got there, we just started to try to network and go around. It was the weirdest thing because it's almost like people knew we was coming. We didn't tell nobody, But when we got over to Sweden, people was following us around.
Word.
Following us to town and stuff like that. It was like something like E.F. Hutton. It was like E.F. Hutton, when people talk, people listen and stuff.
Uh-huh.
They were just following us around with that because I guess, you from New York or you from a different country, I guess you just got a certain style or something like that. And it was like, yo, these guys here, and it was people, you see people pointing and stuff. And when we got settled in, my brother hooked us up with a spot to stay at, and we would stay there. And people would follow us at the crib and everything like that. And I guess girls that wanted to talk to me or to the other dudes that was there, these girls were throwing rocks at the window, and they was throwing rocks at the wrong window. So we eventually got kicked out of there because they said that we was bringing people to the house to get our attention.
Well, you had girls throwing rocks at your window.
And there was ladies throwing rocks at the window trying to get our attention and stuff like that.
Well, did they get your attention? Because they would have got mine.
Yeah, they got our attention. We got kicked out. They was thrown at the wrong window. Everybody else's window. And we kind of got the blame for that. So we got kicked out of there eventually at some point. But then we might up meeting this dude named George in a record store. Right? He was like, I guess, at the time, he was like a big singer over there. And he had to deal with needle pitch. So he had the song out called his hit song was a song called Up and Down. And then his follow-up song was a song called It's the Things You Do. So we wind up meeting him at the store, at the time, artists be out there signing autographs and all that stuff. He was in a record store. So we went out there and started networking. He was like, yo, what's going on, man? And stuff like that. I said, yo, congratulations on the album release and stuff. I said, yeah, I'm from New York. He's from Jersey and stuff like that.
Right.
Network. You ever want to link up a build, or you ever need somebody to feature on a project or something, let me know. So he was like, yeah, that's kind of interesting with that. We wound up exchanging numbers.
Okay.
So I didn't wind up expecting nothing from it, but we got a call back, I think, the following day saying that, George wants you to be on his remix of a song called The Things You Do. Right?
Right.
I was like, shocked. This is a good way to get our stuff in. It was like on a major independent/major label over there. It was a label called Edel Pitch, Edel Records. And the independent part of it was called Speed Limit. So the Speed Limit Edel Pitch. So we was like, yo, if we could get on this song, that'll probably put us on the map out here and stuff. So I wrote my part to the song, and the other guys wrote their part to the song, right? And then we met at this particular studio that they gave us the address to the studio, which was not too far from where we met him at. And when we got there, for some reason, he didn't, or they didn't like the verse of the other two guys that was with me.
So you said they were straight whack?
They're like, nah, I don't know if it was whack or not, but they just wasn't feeling it for some reason.
Wow.
But they like my vocal. So it almost came to a part where, it was almost a drama. Like should I not do it because they didn't put them on? Like should I like scratch it and don't do it? I was like, freak that, man. I said, this is an opportunity. I said, they didn't put y'all on, but they like got stuff. I said, sure, maybe I could help get y'all on to do it, because they only wanted me at the time, and then I think they wanted the singer, Candia.
Oh, right.
So what happened? What happened was time was running out, and they needed to get the song done. There was 3 verses. So I did my verse, but the other 2 verses was from the other 2 artists, and they didn't take those. So that left me. I have to go back and finish 2 more verses.
Wow.
Like, yo, you think you can finish the song? So I said, yeah, I could do that. So I went back and I wrote the song, and then so it was like 3 bars of, I think it was like 3 bars of 16 or 3 bars of 20. I think it was 3 bars of 16.
Well, back then we wasn't doing 16s, right?
I finished the song. And the song actually came out, right? And it was a record, and it not only was a record, it was the top. It was like the top thing, top 40 over there, and it was actually an import hit in the States, in the United States, at number 37.
Wow!
Right. And then the funny thing about this is that a year after we did this song, a group called Five. That was like, they're like the Backstreet Boys, something like that. If you look at 5, they did the song "The Things You Do" a year after we did it. And if you look it up, you can see it. It's done by a super producer, Dennis Pop and Max Martin. They was like the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, for artists. They produce artists like Robin, and if you ever look up the names, you'll see that they work with a lot of huge artists. But it was a good look, for me, and that's kind of like what got me a little buzz out there. So
did they steal the song, or like they just re-released it, or how did that go?
They didn't steal the song because they had to write the song, but George, I think, was the first one to do the song. I did the remix of the song, but it was basically based on the variation of the. There was 4. It was a maxi single, so it was the song. It was 2 other versions, and it was the rap version. So mine was the rap version on it.
Wow!
And the rap version, did pretty good and all that stuff like that, and it got some good buzz on that, and that helped me make a name out there. Now the group 5. They came out with the song like a year or so later. The group is called, I think it's spelled FIVE or the number 5 IVE. But if you look it up,
I know that group.
Type in the song. It's the things you do
that
make you fall. So in love with you, you can have it all. So George is the first one to do that. They followed it up. They had a hit song. They got a video for it too. And we was the first one to do that. So I was like, oh, shoot, this group here, did like a rendition of the song that we did. So I was like, that's kind of dope.
Wow.
And as far as Returning Records, I met Michael Hoffman over there.
Before Turner, now, being that you had to do that, you did that song by yourself, was there any beef with the other 2 artists?
That's what I was saying. Like at first, it was kind of like they was kind of pissed off, like that was whack or whatever it was. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but they wasn't filming. I don't know if it was doing the flow or they were doing the lyrics. And I have a case. That's what we always had an argument about because they was like, yo, freak them, forget that. And I was like, yo, man, we came all the way over here. And I said, I can't blow this opportunity because they wasn't filming y'all.
Right.
I said, I'm on that thing. And Candia said the same thing. So they was mad because they wasn't on it.
Oh.
But, at the time. But, I was on it and Candia was on it too. But she's singing the hook. So the majority of that version of the song is mostly even me. Even George, the artist that I featured on, I'm the main artist on that particular mix, because on that mix I'm the MC. So it's me MCing and George on the hook and Kid D on the hook, but it is me doing all three verses. So it almost seemed like it was my song featuring George.
Is that is that song still out? Like, can we see that? Like, is that song still out?
George, he had a whole album out, but what happened was a few years later, if I'm not mistaken, he was in a car accident, almost kind of like remember DOC?
Yeah.
From NWA when he got accident?
Yeah.
He had, I guess, a similar sort of accident where his throat had got messed up, you know, and he wasn't able to sing anymore. Now I think he got better, but I don't know if he's still singing to this current day or not. But that he had a similar sort of car accident, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. And so he was out of the game for a minute.
All right. Now with Turmeric Records. So, because all this is popping up while you overseas, and I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you went overseas. It's like I bet you was like, I'm not going back to America after I done tasted this. Nah, I gotta leave with something.
No, it was crazy, man. Because like when I was over there, it's literally a different world. Me telling you about it right now wouldn't do it no justice. It's just something you gotta see. It'd be like going to the moon. It'd be like astronaut telling you about the moon. But I can tell you all about it all day, but it ain't nothing like being on the freaking moon. So I encourage even you to this day, man, if you're able to get an opportunity to go over there, whether it's to do music or just a network or do a radio show over there, go. Because it's nothing like it. The people say like the world is small. The world is small. But when you go over there, it's like a completely different planet. I cannot emphasize that enough. The culture, the vibes, the people. So it's just like you having a major culture shock. It's a shock to your system. But it's almost like you're living a life all over again from a different perspective. And that was one of the cool things about it. Is like I was fortunate enough to experience life to that degree. It'd be like a chef. I'm going to the place to try different food cuisines from different countries. Like you go here and try Chinese food, you'll go to Indonesia and try some Indonesian food. You know, just the culture and everything. You know, you can't just hear about it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta taste it. You gotta feel it. You gotta smell it. You gotta do all of that stuff. So one day, man, I hope you know, whether it's with me or by yourself, man, you go over there and then you'll understand what I was talking about. You'll be like, oh, I see now, man. Yo, I understand. Most artists that go overseas down the tour and perform and do shows, they'll tell you the thing. Like Mobb Deep will tell you. Like when I was over there, when I opened up for Mobb Deep and them, I think that was the first time them going to Sweden and overseas at the time, at least over there. And you know, so I was fortunate enough to do that, to open up for Mobb Deep and rock with them. And we was in Sweden and in Norway. You know, we did shows in Sweden and Norway. And I to this day I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you quite how it was unless you was actually there. It was that phenomenal.
Wow. Now bring us over to Turmeric. Now, but Turmeric Records was that a backspin off of what you did with George, or was that like years in between, or?
Nah. This was happening during the same period of time.
Oh, so, wow.
I met Michael Hoffman over there in Sweden. He's actually from the States, which I didn't know. But you know, he's from the States, and I think where's he from? I think he's from Long Island or something like that. But he was actually from the States. And when I was over there talking to him, when I'm thinking Hoffman, you know, I'm thinking maybe he's not from the States. But he was doing management over there. Like he had a company I think called Stellar Artist Management. So I went over there because I wanted to try to get some buzz and representation while I was over there. So I went to his office, you know, and we set up an appointment, and he loved the stuff that I had. But you know, he didn't do hip hop. He didn't know a thing about hip hop. I mean, he didn't know jack about hip hop. So he was skeptical about it. So, you know, I told him about, you know, you should just, you know, give me a chance and, you know, let me, you know, represent and see what goes on. But he liked myself so much that he actually took a chance on doing hip hop. And I'm the one that actually schooled him on hip hop. you know. And when he actually came to the States, I actually schooled him on a hip hop cipher in the city. We was at it's a place called Arlene's Grocery in the city. I think it's in the village with that. And we actually did a hip hop cipher, and he was there to see it when I did a performance there.
Wait, but that sounds crazy because how is he from the States and don't know about hip hop?
Well,
that's crazy.
But you know, like I said, he wasn't really he wasn't a hip hop guy. Hip hop wasn't a specialty. I should say that.
Okay, all right.
Maybe some regular singing and stuff like that. He wouldn't deal with urban music. He'll probably deal with, you know, probably some
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC,
music, or pop,
EDM,
something here. Everything other than what I was doing.
Yeah.
and classical music, because he was a classical conductor. He's also a conductor and a trumpet player. So he would do with a lot of classical artists, you know, and musicians like that, conduct, you know, with the stick and all that stuff, the maestros type of things. He would deal with people most like that. So here I am for Queens as MC coming over there saying like I'm looking for some sort of representation over there. And you know, it was like he couldn't do nothing with me. But like I said, he liked my stuff so much that he wound up taking a chance on that, and that's how I became under Stellar Artist Management as the first and only hip hop artist at that time, you know, to do it. And then later on that line, he started a record company called Termic Records. So I was under the umbrella of Termic Records, even though at that time I was coming up with I had the concept of Handz Up even back then, and I was like, well, let's make an urban division. Can we make possible to make an urban division of your label? You know, and I said, well, let me go under that umbrella of Handz Up. So back then it was Handz Up Records, and then you know now you know it's been revised to Handz Up Network, and Handz Up Network is my own personal entity. You know,
yeah, cause Handz Up. I mean, you were doing a thing with it. I remember we did a show, and as a matter of fact, it was at the library on Jamaica Avenue, and we practiced that whole week, like 2 weeks worth of practice, like a month full of practice. Like, yo, cause you was like, yo, I want this to be right. Yo, we're gonna do this. And when we got there, it wasn't what it was, and we had to improvise. And I was like, oh shit, like this shit crazy. Like, yo, what do we do? And I had to watch you actually flip it and start improvising. And you looked at me, I'm looking at you like, yo. And that's another scene you introduced me to when you plan for a show to go one way and it just turns left, as far left as it can, and you still salvage it.
When a show goes awry, you know, like I say, the show must go on. So what we did was like, you know, I think at that time I was improvising and we had some playing and we just start walking around. We say, take stuff out of your pockets and stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, and meanwhile, after the show, you was like, yeah, that was a good show. I'm like, what? I said, hey, whoa, what, where was you at? Like, I'm looking like, you did good about this show. The shit went left field. And you was like, nah, that was a great show. I'm like, yo, this nigga crazy. He needs to chillax. Like, he needs to But as I progressed on, I see exactly how you could like, no, it was a great show because you actually saved that show.
Yeah, like, that was fun too. I remember that day too. And I said, you know, like when life gives you lemons, make lemonade and stuff like that. So we had to make some, you know, we had to make some lemon juice and some slushies. You know, with the freestyle, we improvised it, and at the end of the day, I think it came out pretty good because of the feedback. And sometimes that's what you mostly know by is the feedback, because you can think something is horrible, and then everybody else tell you, yo, it's incredible. Like you might be a chef or something, you might make something, you might go, this ain't my best work, and then other captain look at you like, what you talking about, man? This is delicious. But you know, in your mind and heart, you know you could do better. But as long as you are able to cater to the ones that you perform for and they leave satisfied, then your job is done. That's why I said it was a good day, because everybody seemed to be satisfied. Even though they didn't go exactly as planned, you know, we came out, you know, unscathed, and it was a good look.
Yeah.
So anytime something is a good look, you can chalk that up as a good day.
Yeah, because I know I did we did a party and that shit just went crazy left. But we still walked on, did our thing. And I mean, this is years later, and just like to attest to like what you introduced me to, because then the party was not what I expected. I expected it to be one way because we like once again we built up towards it, and then when it went so far left, people that was there was like, "Yo, that shit was crazy. That shit was hot." And I'm like, "Wow." And then I thought about that day at the library, like, okay. And those are the times where you like, okay, now I see what Fury was talking about. When he was like, "Yo, this is a good show. That was a great show," because that's how you said. As long as the people there enjoyed it, yeah, it was a good show. To you, it might be fucked up or whatever, but you saved it. And I think in the save, that makes you feel even better. At least from in my standpoint, you feel even better when you see it going left and you can still save it.
Yeah, it's like a football, move, a football play. Me and you, we can all be in a huddle, but we can say what the play is going to be, and the play get all effed up. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we wind up making that touchdown. I'm like, how the heck did they score a touchdown on this freaking play? We have to improvise, pull Hail Mary, and we caught it with one hand and landed on our back. And yo, that was part of the plan. But it's like I said, as long as at the end of the day, when we make that finish line and we got to get that photo finish, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Because not everything in life is planned, right? You got a barbecue and it starts raining, but you might still have a good time in spite of the rain. You got to make the best of what you got. And like I said, if people leave happy and satisfied in spite of whatever setbacks, that's a good freaking day.
Now, you got a lot of years under your belt. As far as in hip hop and the game and everything. Now, I'm gonna ask you a good question, but a tough one. What is what is your favorite song that you produced? Because you did a lot of producing as well. Now, what was the favorite song to you that you produced?
Wow. Well, this kind of goes back into a history thing, and this actually might be in a documentary too, because there's a guy named Tony Moore. He's known by Cypher Sounds, and I don't know if you remember back in the day. You probably remember.
I know Cypher Sounds. Yeah, I remember Cypher Sounds.
They had a record back in the days called 3-Card Molly. About the card, the card shuffling game, the hustling game with the cards, right?
Yeah.
And I actually did my first real demo at their studio in Southside, right? And he's the one that do all the films now, documentaries and stuff like that. He just got an award right now, I think from Ralph McGandy's and stuff for films and all that stuff. And he's supposed to be doing a hip hop documentary. I'm thinking about Queens, and there's a good chance that I'll be in it. So we see what happens. And he been asking me about this track. And I said, I did my first demo over the studio. He said, I remember that. He said, that's right, yo, we got to get that for the documentary and stuff like that. So, you know what that track is? And I was like, I think I got it in storage. But if I have to go back and say one of the best songs or favorite songs I did at the time there, it would be that song that I did there. Because I actually produced the song. I didn't be a studio engineer it, but I came with all the concept of how I wanted it done. And then put it all together, the style and everything. I did all that stuff at Cypher Sound Studio. The song is called "The Fury of C Rock."
Right now, you saying story.
You might.
I remember that. I know the tone. That tone sounds familiar. Now, in stories. Now, was that still on a reel to reel? You talking the real or is on the DAT?
Sure. I didn't think we even had DATs back then. Let me see. I think I had that. It might have been on the real, but I think it was on cassette or on a 4-track. It was one of the two. But I think it might have been on a 4-track. But I recorded that song. I have it on cassette tape.
Oh.
And now you have to fix it up. But I think I have a pretty good copy of that too. And back in that time then when I rocked the song, I used to wear those what you call like type of hats, the Kango hats.
I
got a video of me. Actually got a video of me on VHS at my shoot. I was at my brother's girlfriend's house. So matter of fact, it's right across the street from Jackson. Matter of fact, I did that right after we had that battle at we had the contest at the Black Spectrum Theater. Me and my beatboxer, Fury Force, we was champions at the Black Spectrum for for years. We won almost every freaking battle. Like Apollo, keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. And so like I was winning at the Black Spectrum. Every contest we were just winning and killing it. And the last final battle, we got robbed. There was a group from Southside. I can't remember the name of the group. It'll come to me. But we got robbed because they brought a freaking baby on stage, and everybody was like, "Oh!"
They brought a baby on stage.
What a full mess is this? And believe me, I got witnesses to this thing here. Like my boy Mark Pierre, he used to be at the Proper. He used to help host the Proper. He was there. He lived right down the block from us. For me and DJ, right down the block. He can tell you that it was a shady thing. He came with a busload of people, and remember, they was all from like Southside. He came with a whole truckload of people there, and then brought a freaking baby over there to top it off. Now,
he brought a baby. A baby.
A freaking baby, man. A baby. They brought a baby on stage. They really went cheesy on some freaking politic thing, man. They brought the baby out. Like, yeah, that was dope. But look at the baby. Look at the baby. I was like, oh, come on, man. Come on. And we left pissed, discouraged. And I even got a little bit of, I still got that video at the end. My brother came late to videotape that show. But we got the end when they made the decision. I think that was called the Chosen MCs. That's what it was called.
Wow.
It was called the Chosen MCs. And if y'all listening from Southside, that baby saved y'all. That baby saved y'all, man. We had it. Hey, we killed it, y'all. Chosen MCs, don't front.
The Trojan MCs. That's why they were Trojans. That was a Trojan horse. They had the baby inside.
Chosen MCs got chosen that time. They shouldn't have been.
Wow.
They got chosen. It should have been the Chosen MCs and the baby.
Wow, man. That's crazy. Now, like I said, the Linda Bullies is on the new episode that's out now of the Mixtape Video Show, and you got my man Don Jazz up in there. Big up Stealth Gun. Now you and Don Jazz have a good history too.
Sure, man. Me and Don Jazz practically grew up together. Man, when DJ moved to the block, I'm the first guy I think that DJ met. When he finally moved onto the block. Now, this we talking about, man, maybe like 10 years old and stuff. And I helped him get his ball off his roof, in his backyard. And for me, he's been friends ever since. We was like what you call like Rerun and Roger Dwayne. I was more into the hip hop thing, and DJ was more into the sports. But I was into sports back then too. Like we played baseball together, we played tackle football together, we played skelly together. We would hang out on the porch and snap with each other. Matter of fact, to this day, I got every tape on cassette with us snapping, doing the 30 dozen and all this stuff like that. I got DJ with his voice was squeaky.
Wow.
I got DJ with his squeaky on cassette. And if you haven't heard it yet, I can't. Trust me, it's something that people want to hear.
Yeah, I'm very interested right now. And the reason why I asked him, and the reason why I brought up Don Jazz is because he's on the track, but I see like you was doing a lot more later on in the career, whereas I would have thought he would have been on earlier.
Well, DJ didn't really want to run. DJ was kind of like how you was, just hanging around.
Right.
But DJ, I told DJ that I thought that he can do it. Like I said, yo, you got a voice that you can flow. I was like, yo, D, I said, if you ever took this seriously or was ever do something, I think you would be able to kill it. He didn't see it neither. So if anything, I'm that person that probably saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself. And when I told DJ that, DJ looking at me like I'm crazy. But then when D started to do stuff, and then like when he hooked up with him and No Ram, and he did the Banana, it was Banana Nation at the time.
Yeah.
And they did no artificial flavors.
And I remember, I was there when you recorded that.
You was there.
I was in the studio with y'all.
And I produced that song, and that song there, I think if we was to put it out today, man, that thing I think it was hot. I love that song to this day. Artificial flavor. And I know DJ, so I know some of the No Ram rhyme with it, because I think No Ram killed that thing too. I think he killed it too.
Now I remember at that time, y'all did no artificial flavor. Y'all did no artificial flavor, and then the other wasn't the B side Dock of the Bay.
Yeah. That's right. I did the Dock of the Bay. I actually got Shakespeare on that too, kind of talking at the beginning. So,
yeah.
We did Dock of the Bay, and we also did Throw Your Hands Up. We did Throw Your Hands Up.
Yeah.
Over there at the crib, man. We did that right in freaking at No Ram's crib. And
wow.
Speaking of No Ram, I gotta say this, man. Rest in peace to his pops, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It was a beautiful send off, man. Like, I never seen nothing like that. It was a beautiful send off, man. May he sleep in peace, man. But he was a real cool dude, man. And he was like family too. So
yes, sir.
The big king, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Put a thing in the air for him, man. Pay my respects, man. He was a great man.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, I still got the pictures from the funeral. Me, you, Jazz, and at that funeral, that's when even me and you reconnected and was like, yo, wow, like yo, and it just the love was just like like this is my brother right here, like C Rock the Fury, like that's my brother.
I told Jay, like, I think I asked D where it's gonna be at, and I was gonna say, yo, I'm there, man. And I went there, and then I saw you there, and I know you was hurt because like, I know, man. Like he was really, really close to you, man. And he was around us just coming up, man. We used to be on the porch and just chilling, and he would be hanging out with us, and maybe give us a beverage or something. We would chill and chop it up in the living room with him, man. He was make some jokes or make us laugh, man. He was just a real cool dude, man.
Yo, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, man, definitely will be missed, and I appreciate you even being there. Showing love, man. Because you didn't have to. You did what I'm saying. You did it out of love and respect, and and that just brings you, to the forefront. And it was also cool when we took the pictures, because when I look at the pictures, it's like that's even nostalgic. Like, yo, I ain't stand next to you before that picture for like years.
Yeah.
So
your pictures like that was when we was at when we did the shows in the city when I introduced you to DJ Honest.
Yeah.
And we did that. We did that showcase over. Where was we at? Was we at
We was at, wasn't it Karma?
It might have been Karma. Yeah, I think it was Karma.
Now, because you put, honestly, you put Cambria Heights on the map when it comes to hip hop. When it comes to hip hop, whenever you mention Cambria Heights and hip hop, and we talking Cambria Heights, New York, y'all. Because we're dealing with a worldwide basis. So we talking about Cambria Heights, New York, and Southside Jamaica, Queens. We call it North Side, but it's really Southside Jamaica, Queens. And when you talk about the artist that's representing Cambria, even if you talk about whoever's hot right now today in that area, they still have to go back to the lineage of C Rock the Fury. And you actually put Cambria on the map with this hip hop.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. But I also got to give a shout out to to Northside Mob. When you talking about the Northside, I got to give a big shout out to Northside Mob, and that means all my people from Paragon. And that goes my boy Anchor Banker. and everybody there at DA, everybody from there, man. They also have helped put Queens on the map, and that was actually the first ones to have a hip hop float at the what was it? I think it was the Puerto Rican parade.
Oh, really?
They was the first one to have a hip hop float, and we had a big truck bed. They had a big old logo with the Paragon logo on it, and we had the live DJ with the turntables on and stuff. And I was up there rolling with them. And that was like an incredible experience. And me and Hank could go way back. We went to Cardoza high school together. And, we never had battles, but we always was going to go at it, I think, at one time. We never actually went toe-to-toe, but we have done numerous ciphers. But we all from around the way. And they've been putting stuff out on the map, too. We got a lot of cats from Queens, a lot of, I guess, unsung heroes.
Yeah, we do.
They just doing their thing. I'm just happy and honored that I was part of it, man. And a lot of this history isn't documented like on videos and stuff, but by word of mouth and on cassette tapes and stuff, we have it.
Yo, we need.
If you go around and talk to the people that came up with us, you'll hear a lot of stories, inner stories that I'm not even speaking on, and it's something that might even remind me of. I'm like, oh snap, I almost forgot about that.
Now we need a C-Rock the Fury documentary.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that because that's actually going to happen. I'm shooting a music video. That's why I asked you before. I was like, are you coming to New York? I'm shooting a music video next week, and if you're able to come through, you'll be in the video.
Okay.
It's a song called Just Remembering Stuff. I sent you the cut. It's from my forthcoming album, my second solo album. It's called Furiosity Kills the Cat. That's the name of the album. Furiosity Kills the Cat. And, so that's going to be the second album. I actually got a lot of love. Chuck D himself actually co-signed me. And if you type in Fury Public Enemy or Fury Chuck D on YouTube, you'll see him actually talk about me. And he actually had me featured on a special episode called Songs That Mean Something, where he actually features that song. And I'm real honored to have like somebody of that caliber. That's one of my favorite MCs. Well, Rakim is my favorite MC. He's definitely up there as one of my favorites as well, Chuck D. So to even get something like that, an accolade or a co-sign from Chuck D, that's everything for me. I make everything I do worthwhile. Is when I can get acknowledgement from cats like that.
And also, now speaking on that, who was the artist or the MC that birthed your pen? For example, my pen was birthed from Big Daddy Kane, flat out. When I heard Big Daddy Kane, I had to pick up the pen and I started. Before then, of course, with Run DMC and then I was doing my little freestyles, having fun with it, freestyling. But when I heard Kane, that's when I said I picked up a pen, and that was the birth of my pen. So, who was the MC that birthed your pen?
Wow, that's a tough one, but I could throw some names out that definitely was an influence to me. One of them would be Tila Rock, which I actually was talking to on Facebook today. So shout out to Tila Rock. Tila Rock was one of the first to do it, and actually he was one of the first, the first on Def Jam, even before LL.
Wow.
Tila Rock was doing that. That's how far Tila Rock go back. He's been doing that for a minute. And if you listen to it, then you'll almost hear similar styles with Tila Rock and LL, Cool J. They both have the Kangos and the styles and all that, but T was there. So I would say Tila Rock, and then of course Run DMC. I'm a big fan of Run DMC, and I think they, when it comes to Queens on the map, you can't say that without saying Run DMC.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely can't. You can't. Now, here go the funny part. Here go the funny part. This is a fun, true story. I hosted a show at Karma. Big up Sincere. I had an extensive career with Sincere and Dirty Basement. So I did a show. I hosted a show with him over at Karma. We had Grandmaster Caz come through. So I went up to Caz, I gave him a pound, meaning I shook his hand, you know what I mean? And I said, yo, I'm shaking the hand of the grandfather to my pen. He was like, "What?" He looked at me like, "What the fuck you talking about?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Yo, you are the man that Big Daddy Kane said birthed his pen. So that means as saying Kane birthed my pen. That means you're my pen's grandfather." And he looked at me like, "Oh shit, like this nigga's he said this nigga crazy. He needs to chillax." But he never even thought about it like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, well, wow. And I say, "Yo, I'm shaking your hand right now. Like now, I'm probably gonna go home and write some crazy shit just because my pen just met this grandfather type shit. You know what I'm saying?" And a lot of times in this game, we don't look at it that way. We don't look at it where you really look at the person who put you on or something, or where you get your style from. Like to this day, when I perform, being that you brought me to my first stage, I take a lot of your performance and put it in my performances. You're the reason why I jump into the crowd. I remember jumping into the crowd. Why are you in the crowd? I don't know, just what I was taught to do. But then when you look at it in hindsight, that's because I saw my man C Rock run through the crowd. You know what I'm saying? When shit was going left, my man was in the audience, rhyming about people's hats and pens and shit. So it's like, you know, a lot of times we don't pay homage to that person that really made us get our style. You dig what I'm saying? And it's always someone that you get your style from. A lot of times you just don't wake up and do it.
It's funny saying because I was listening to seeing that so long ago, and he's actually when we at the Rock Game his 35th anniversary and stuff, and we was chopping up with them there, and when we did when EPMD was performing at Springfield Park, he was up there too. He was chopping up, and he was like, and Johnny Quest was with us. And he was like, "Yo, he said, I know all y'all and stuff like that." And he said, "Yeah, man." Then he said something about that I was the one that introduced him to radio. And talking about sincere. And
Right.
I was like, "Oh," I said, "Right, okay." I said, "That's what's up."
Okay.
I didn't think about it, but it's like in my life, I do a lot of things, and sometimes you won't get acknowledgement of it until later on that you're aware of. And I mean, and I definitely appreciate it. It wasn't like it was by design that I did it. It was just something that I've done. But if it turned out to take somebody to a different level in their life, and they credit me to that, either directly or indirectly, then I definitely appreciate that. That means that my job, whether I intentionally meant to do it or not, is done. And my life is almost, I guess, almost like a Forrest Gump. You know, like how Forrest Gump influenced people's lives, but he didn't know that he was influencing them. Like,
yeah,
he was jogging and the button on the shirt, and he said, "Have a nice day." And
yeah.
all of a sudden, he started making that shirts, and he became a multimillionaire. And sometimes things that you're unaware of or things that you don't do directly. And there's a saying that, what you do indirectly can still affect you, or what you do, could affect you directly.
Yeah.
Even like 6 degrees of separation or something I might have done that triggered off something that you was even aware of that you was doing at the time. But they say, "Yo, if it wasn't for you doing what you did at that time," and I'm like, "Well, what was it that I did at that time?" And then they tell you, and I'm like, "Oh, snap! Well, I'm glad that I was able to, to do that. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't by like design, like I had it mapped out to do. But since it turned out that way, I'm happy, because if what I did was by accident, on purpose, made somebody successful, or to bring their life or occupation to a level that they thought they never been at, and they say that I was a factor. That's a heartfelt thing to hear, and I appreciate all that.
Definitely. Well, we're over an hour, man, and so I definitely don't want to keep you too long. I know you're busy, and I know you got things you gotta rock on. You probably got a rhyme to write or something. Knowing your ass, man, you probably got something in the. You know what? And it was funny. Before we go, it's just funny because all your stories you say and the stuff that you told, you say, yeah, they want me to come in, so I went and I wrote this song. And I was sitting here thinking, like, yo, you have all these raps and you still write brand new songs. That is crazy.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's what a writer does. It's what you do. It's like if you're a baker, you bake all those cakes, or you fry all those burgers, but you know there's more burgers to come.
Yeah, yeah. Any have you ever done any ghost writing?
Never. I'm allergic to that.
You don't like ghost?
If I didn't write it, it don't get done. Me and my brother had issues about that. My brother had a song that he wanted me to do, and he said that there's a part that he wrote that he wanted me to recite and do. And I said, how about I write my part out and I'll do it. Right? And he was like, yo, you on my record, man. You gonna do what I said, well, I guess I won't be on your record. Like, man, was doing that, Freddie, Love Child. We was talking about that. We were joking around and stuff, but I'm very uncomfortable doing somebody else's lyrics. If I don't write it, it don't get done. That's just how it is.
No, I'm not talking about. Well, I know I'm not talking about you having a ghostwriter. I'm talking about you ghostwriting for anyone else.
I have done it. I've done some writing and stuff like that. I actually used to write for Missy Elliott's dancers. Cecily and Elisa.
Yeah.
For years, I was writing for them. I was writing for Odysseus and all that stuff. They were the dancers, for New Edition, and I was doing writing for them, and that's why I always used to hang over there. I wrote for the sister that passed away, Celeste, and she went by the name Ruffian. I was writing for her. I was writing for most of the people in the family.
Wow.
That was kind of cool. But but they I think they Grammy Award winner choreographers now. I mean, they choreographer for I'm talking about the big people, like I said, like Missy Elliott, Janet, and all these superstar dancers that you see out there now. They the ones that kind of pin the dance steps. They took it to that level, and I was like, wow, I was there, and I know them. They're like my sisters,
Wow.
It's just crazy. I mean, I wrote for some other people too, but like if I wrote for somebody, I wouldn't put my I wouldn't just say I just wrote it. I just make cats do it. If they want to say that I wrote it for them, that's fine. But I usually don't come out and say, well, I wrote for this person, I wrote for that person. But I say them because they're not. I say Cecily and Lisa because they're not really MCs. They more dancers. I can say that for that. But for the ones that still write and perform and stuff, I wouldn't go out and say I wrote that.
Wow.
Plus, you'll probably notice anyway if they ever put it out and it's credited, because now when you release records. Now you gotta acknowledge who's on it, like their name or maybe the government names or the artistic names. So it ain't hard to find out who pinned something these days. It's not hard to find out unless you was totally paid out. Like if you paid out cash to keep your mouth shut, like a silent partner, to dish something out, then that's one thing. But other than that, you can kind of tell who wrote something. Like back in the days when Shantae was rhyming and she did a certain style, you could tell if somebody pinned her verse or something, because she would kind of rhyme it in the format of the writer.
Right. Wow.
So you always do, so if you analyze this stuff, you can almost analyze the format or the structure of it, because most artists, it's hard to hide your signature in a writing style, and then performing. They do it kind of the same. Like my writing is almost like the same way I would recite it, and that goes for most artists. And if somebody else wrote it, like you might hear this female sound like Coogee Rap, you might go, Coogee Rap pinned that. Or if Eminem wrote something, Eminem pinned that. There's signatures on it.
Yeah.
There's signatures all over it. That's why I tell everybody else, I was like, no matter what you're doing, like whether it's your own record or you collaborating on a project, always put your signature on it. That way the cats know it's yours.
Got you, man. Well, you know what, Fury? Well, thank you for your time, man. Thank you for your time. It's been an honor, man.
Right back at you, man. And like I said, this goes for anybody listening too, man. So this go for the pioneers out there. This go for New Jacks and fellas alike. You know, we got people here dying left and right. You know, and unexpectedly, we lost some rap pioneers. Do your homework and learn about real hip hop, man, before it's too late. Pay attention to the ones who came before you, so you know where you're going. So, because they left a blueprint for you to follow. You don't got to do exactly what they do, but you do got to learn the blueprint. You know, don't go ignorant, because if you're ignorant, you're gonna pass down ignorance to more ignorant people. You know, and them. You know, so what you hand down and how you hand it down is very important. With great power comes great responsibility, and that also goes for the power of hip hop. So as long as I'm live and breathing, I'm gonna do what I can for hip hop, pass the torch, or drop my knowledge on, so I could keep this culture alive the way that I saw it, the way that we came up to do it. And that goes for I King too. I'm pretty sure that you're gonna pass it down to your siblings, and what you do on the radio and stuff is a great thing. And if you ever leave this planet, that's what's gonna be left behind. The I King documentary, the I King memoirs, or whatever you want to call it. You will always be remembered, because these songs here, people are gonna play it back. These shows here, people are gonna play it back. They're gonna be like, "Yo, that's my dog. This boy has something to say. Listen to this." So I appreciate you and your forum. And I King, and like I said, just like the pride in your name, man. Keep that pride up, man. Hold that pride tight and represent.
Definitely,
and always
man.
pay homage to the ones who have to play, and always stay in touch with the people that who are alive, because people are dropping like flies, man. So stay in touch with people, show your love, and that's all I can pretty much say, man.
Thanks, man. You know, and once again, yo, it's the Bar Zone live stream, man. And of course, with your boy I King. And gotta give a big shout out to my man C Rock the Fury. I gotta thank him once again for coming through. And like I keep telling y'all, you never know who is gonna come through next, because you never know who I know. You understand what I'm saying? We're bringing hip hop too. Hip hop is always in the building. You know what I mean?
That's right. And if you can make that video come through, man, we shooting next week. And I'm also doing the documentary. The documentary you was talking about, we may be doing the documentary along with the video. So if you're able to come through the Queens, man, come through. More than welcome to be in the video, man. I've sent you the songs called Just Remembering Stuff. So listen out for that in case I can't place that. Just Remembering Stuff is the next thing that you're going to hear. Hope you enjoy it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And we out of here. We're going to see y'all next time. Peace.